Hello, my name is Abe, and welcome back to Monster Train. Let's start another run here. What was the last run? I've already forgotten. We made it to Divinity, right? Sorry, I feel like there's something caught in my throat. Let me take a drink real quick. Alrighty then. We are regular Umbra Wormkin Exile, which means that we have... It's the damage cards, right? The ones that specifically do damage per stack of charged echoes, whatever you want to call them. Little gems. Sacrifice, packed morsels, bounding echoes. About the only thing that's really dangerous is Seraph the Patient. I really like the run that we have here. We're going up against Daylist with damage shields, Fell with the spell, shield, and armor guardians. Those are both easy fights. And then Seraph the Patient, you hope that you find the book that limits his abilities. Otherwise, he's going to be kind of annoying to deal with. We need... I apologize. I have no idea why my voice is so dead, but we need to focus on scaling damage, floor sweeping, keeping our units alive, and now all of a sudden gorging. When a card with Extract is played, gain an energy and 1 echo. We don't extract anything. They're very good cards though. Extraction cards are very decent. 25% chance to deal 5 damage when an enemy unit enters your train. When we hit Divinity, enemy units are gonna have 25 HP. 5 is not that much. So we're gonna go for the Carving Corcusa. Try to figure out what we can do with that, and then we can get Monstrous or Glutton. I said it previously. What is wrong with my voice? I said it previously. People seem to think that the Architect is the best one. For Monstrous, you really do need to keep buffing your own your own capacity in order to play morsels on his floor. If you can give him 1 morsel per floor, he can actually gorge pretty nicely. The Glutton can just eat all of the morsels that you play though. I kind of like the Glutton more than the Monstrous. It gives us something to do with morsels, which is kind of why I like it. As for... Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4 Divine Temples coming up. I think we save all of our pack shards. We'll get some units, we'll decide what we're gonna do with our units, and then in theory, we can completely own when we get down to that floor. Like at ring 5, 6, 7, and 8, we can just get whatever upgrades we want. Now, the Umbras are really relatively easy to work with here. All we need to do is just play a morsel, then our champion. All of a sudden, boom, we get, you take the damage. We get to purge the Ember Drain, which is really nice. And then, I suppose, we'll just put another charged echo on the floor, maybe to help kill a unit in the future, and then we'll just let the train steward eat a couple of times. The enemy units are not gonna make it up. We have enough echo breaks in the deck that we're gonna be able to kill them as they move up. I'm not worried about that at all. About the only thing that we're gonna specifically do here is just make sure that we cannibalize morsels to get good morsels. These are the good morsels? I guess they're not bad morsels. You have 45 damage. Let's make sure that you... Actually, we have another morsel too. Let's make sure that we have enough morsels on our top floor so we can do 45 damage. And then once we get the echo breaks as expected, these units are not a problem. Now, Bounding Echoes. Apply Infuse to cards in hand. I suppose you might as well. Yes, we have infusion on the dead weight. Might not be that important, but hey, you never know. And then damage shield or +6. We'll go +6. You can take the damage shield. This one train steward is getting pretty buff. Apply infuse to cards in hand, all right. Well, you're dead. It's only the discipled Inquisitor. So let's just put down a couple of train stewards to die. Nothing's making it through. Our champion is, well, monstrous in his own right. And our train steward is already doing 28 damage on their own. I think that we're gonna have too many morsels. I suppose we'll just have one of them tank a shot. I mean, easy first fight. We took the trial and it didn't really matter at all. You love to see it. Now, what do we get? 75 gold. Space Prism's a pretty good card, so we can keep gorging on a floor. Perils of Production is really good too. Holdover Perils of Production means that you can take all of the other cards that give you Ember Drain and you can still have energy every turn, although I still don't quite enjoy it completely. Mind Collapse is good early, and then if you can give it some magic power, it can get a kill on units that have, you know, more than 3 HP. But I feel like what's been killing me on these divinity fights here is not one Mind Collapse, it's being able to actually play everything that we need to play. Kind of enjoy the idea of a Space Prism for more capacity. I think one of those is acceptable. And then we get a possible Bogfly Infusion, plus 5 attack per charged echo on the floor. Or we can go for a Tuned Extract, which will pay for itself and give us energy out of it. So that's not a bad card. Deal 50 damage to the front enemy unit. It's not amazing, but it does synergize with our Carver here. It'll pay for itself as far as the echoes goes, and then we also get 1 energy out of the card, and then it does its damage. We don't get draw, but we do get energy out of it. I think we'll take it just for like an early card that gets added to our deck. Not amazing, but it's fine. We do need units. Would we prefer to have a Wormkin or an Umbra unit? Well, our champion is a Gorger. We might not need an Umbra unit, but if we get like a Morsel Maid or a Overgorger, those are really good early units. And then the Wormkin units, maybe we can get some of those later as they, yeah. Because we can get Wormkin here and then another Umbra here in case there's something here that we want. And then we'll have enough units that by the time we hit these 4 Divine Temples, we're basically just duplicating cards and melding them, duplicating cards and melding them, duplicating cards and melding them, and then we'll hopefully just have like a solid build. So an early Umbra unit, if it's got permanent gorging capabilities, seems very good. And then the Wormkin units, maybe we can just get some of those later. Now, if we upgrade spells, what do we want? Holdover Cannibalize is good. Just magic power on the Echo Breaks is always useful. So sure, that way we're not going to a Merchant of Steel with 0 units. Let's see what we got here. Remove Consume. I mean, a Packed Morsel that could shuffle is nice, but it feels like that might be a little bit too late. By the time we shuffle, we want our deck to be online. -2 energy on a spell. Can't really do that. Purge Stone, not worth it. Engage Pact, only Train Stewards, so nothing there. Shadow Siege, huh? Plus 60, plus 50, plus 2 capacity is really good. We're never gonna play it, but if we put this in another unit, we love it. Now the Crucible Collector is a great tank, a wonderful tank, an amazing tank, a perfect tank. But I think you gotta go big or go home when you're dealing with Last Divinity nonsense. Let's take the Shadow Siege, and I mean, we can't really do any sort of melding right now, but if we get anything with multi-strike, any egg or something like that, man, we can just make the biggest, best unit of all time, and then we can just duplicate these as we go down. I mean, we can duplicate it literally next. We won't be able to play the damn card, but we'll have it. Okay, so magic power. Deal 100 damage to the front enemy unit. That's fantastic. It's too much though. We need cheaper cards that can do more for us. So we'll make that cheaper. We'll make the Shade Splitters cheaper. Make the Cannibalize a little bit cheaper too. And I will reroll even to get some more of this. Now, I'm very tempted to make a Cannibalize holdover for the morsels, which I do think that we should probably do. Proclamation is good too, but with Extract 2, we have to play 1 infusion to get this card every turn. And with the deal damage to the front enemy unit, we can't control what unit it hits, so I don't think it's as important as like a Cannibalize. And then if we find a relic that gives us like 1 morsel per turn, all of a sudden that's 3 good morsels every turn, which is pretty good. So what is it, 15 damage on the top floor? We can handle that. I didn't get any, you know, targeted damage, but we can still deal with it. It's gonna be Morsel, Champion, Morsel. The enemies do have haste. Not really that worried about that. When they make it up to the pyre, they're all gonna do 1 damage, so who cares? I wish I just had more spells that could actually target enemies, and we did get one. So we could either play this, or we could play a Train Steward. I guess we'll probably play the Train Steward. So, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're taking 6 damage. There's not much we can do about that, unfortunately. That being said, morsels behind our champion will be able to get kills as the fight progresses left to right. And so we'll ice another one. So we're only taking 3 damage now. You're dead. You might as well get more HP. You might as well get HP and a damage shield. This is actually not going that badly at all. If we take, you know, upwards of 10 damage, it's not bad. So you gotta go. We're gonna get more cells, and every morsel that does damage is just a better way of preventing our pyre from taking, you know, 1 damage. I mean, 1 damage is 1 damage, I'll take it. All right, this is not going badly at all. We took 8 damage to get whatever the bonus was from doing the trial. I don't really look at the bonuses, I really should. Mostly I just kind of look at what we get out of it. Or rather, I look at the challenge itself. I see that we can probably survive, you know, a couple of rage units moving up, so I don't worry about it. You're gonna go down, you're gonna go down. You sweet, but at least we will kill 1 enemy unit. I really do not foresee you actually killing our champion, although we will not be able to get more morsels next turn. So this is all that we have, but our champion is gonna be like an 80 damage, 70 HP unit with lifesteal. We're good, we're in the clear. Okay. I mean, an 83 damage champion, pretty freaking good. Mind Collapse, Immortal Trade, Space Prism. Immortal Trade is fine. We tend to not have a problem with lifesteal if we can keep generating our morsels, though. I feel like Space Prism for even more capacity is nice, because if we get a few of these cards, we can just take, like, card draw to get to it faster. Now, Echo Infusion and Echo Transfer are amazing. I feel like you would want Echo Infusion because it's infused with Extract, so it will give us 1 Echo and 1 energy by playing it. Echo Transfer, we still have to have 2 Extract in order to play it. Now, the Transfer is probably better because it buffs our damage, but I do like an Echo Infusion just for a one-off spell. It's free to play and it'll give us energy off of it. It costs -1. It's pretty good. So I think we will definitely look for units here. Keeper of Echoes, Inspire +1/+1, Inspire add +1 and +1 to friendly units. It's not bad. Keeper of Echoes is apparently a really nice one to have in order to give you scaling, and we've tried something like this before. Maybe not with this specific, no, we did with this specific card, but it didn't really work out. But to buff all units on a floor is actually kind of good. It's not even kind of good, it's just very good. Is this good enough? I don't know. Apply +1 attack and +1 health to friendly units. I feel like more, we need something that's more. We need something with multi-strike. If we have a Shadow Siege and we want to dump the Shadow Siege inside of another unit, we need something with multi-strike. Now we could honestly just have Shadow Sieges. We can take 1 capacity upgrade and then all of a sudden, well, it's still gonna be way too expensive. We only have 3 energy. So this might be like literally unplayable. But I also don't want to give this guy a +60, +50. But I will, I will take Keeper of Echoes, I think. I think it's got a... People love this card, and I think it is all right, but I don't believe it. Not yet anyways. Copy a card 5 times. Well, here's if you wanted 6 unplayable Shadow Sieges. I don't think we need a second Cannibalize. Echo Infusions would be a good card to have another one of, but I don't really know what we want to duplicate. I do think maybe that Space Prism and then specifically taking card draw or energy means that we probably don't have a capacity problem ever. So I do like this. And if we get card draw, we can get to our Space Prisms even faster. The last time I tried to copy that card 5 times, it didn't really work out the way I wanted it to. But yeah, I think Space Prisms, having a few of those is fine. Gives you an opportunity to play morsels once you play your other units. Yeah, give me another one of those. It's wholly unupgraded, but what else would we duplicate? Another Cannibalize? We don't need 2. Don't really need 1, but with the packed morsels, that kind of that takes the place of Cannibalize until you get Cannibalize. So yeah, let's go for a Space Prism. We have a card duplicator coming up anyway, so we can always duplicate Shadow Siege if we want. But we want to put Shadow Siege inside of something, then duplicate. So give me a Space Prism, and then I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the other duplicator, and we're gonna duplicate a packed morsels. So we have a lot of morsel generation and then capacity generation on top of it, and we're not taking Divine Hordes. Heck no. I'm skirting on base gameplay here until I find a good unit to put that Shadow Siege inside of, and hopefully we get something soon. Because we're gonna need it soon. You are doing 10 damage. You're not killing my Train Steward, so I will just pop him right down here. Inspire. Well, at least he's down. He's not doing anything, but at least he's down. Okay, we're only doing 31 damage. It's not as much as I was hoping for. I will put down another Consume. You've got to go. You're gonna hit the pyre for 2. Who cares? You gotta go. And then can actually get some freaking morsel generation finally. And we might even be able to kill units as they start making it up now. Good, you're dead. Now, we're not really killing much. We also have literally nothing to play with the Cannibalize because we drew 2 deadweights. Yeah, I love that. Man, deadweights. You gotta love a good deadweight. You know what? No, I do not think the Winged will protect me. However, I do think that we rely on our champion to get us through this combat. I don't know what I'm gonna do about you, though. I guess we're just gonna play Proclamation. That'll do it. Gives us energy back, I'll take it. So then we will morsel, Cannibalize, give you more lifesteal, more damage. You're gonna hit the pyre for 4. We have another morsel position, so why don't we just put down the rubble morsel, sure, why not? Look, do I like the deck? No, but our champion can deal with the boss until we can actually build a better run here. Is it annoying? Is it a pain right now? Oh, absolutely. You know what? Goodbye, Train Steward. We've got a lot of gorging happening, though. It did take a long time for it to get to this point, though. +6, +6, +3, 6. +6. Take this one. Damage shield. We have lifesteal. We don't need damage shields. Why don't we see what we get? +6. Why not? 2 of these. Just dump them out of the deck. 144, 131 champion. I think actually what I'm realizing here is that what we need is more gorging units. When we get our cards, we can play morsels. So another gorger would be awesome. And if it's a gorger that we can put damage on and then put like multi-strike on and then put the Shadow Siege inside of, that's perfect. Take a Shroud Spike. Overgorger is kind of what I'm looking for. It's so freaking huge, but it is a great gorge target. And we can make him +2 capacity in the 60-50. But if we can give this guy multi-strike, duplicate him, he's awesome. It's perfect. Now, I will also admit that a Crucible Warden with Damage Shield is also great. We are going up against Patient Seraph, but Damage Shield, when you start to get to Last Divinity enemies that hit 3 times in a row, it starts to be a little bit less important. But I'll take an Overgorger, we'll see if we can make that work, and we're gonna go for draw. We can get extra energy through extract cards, we only have 1, but in theory we could. Spells do not seem to be a big problem right now. Really, it's the units, and then we also need to come down here and start doing some melding. But I would like to see what we get from this Umbra unit. Just to see. Morsel Maid. I mean, this is the best unit in the game. For Umbra, anyways. It's very much a, we're getting carried by choices, I think, because this guy is absurd. In fact, he's so absurd. If you summon 2 of them on a floor, can they both eat? I don't think so. But he's so absurd that now I'm thinking we don't even need that Overgorger. He's a better Overgorger. Well, he doesn't get permanent bonuses, but he's a better Overgorger, let's be honest. Feed on units with Eaten, Hunger, +10 HP. Resolve +6/+6, and Timber Morsel and Magma Morsel. Yeah, I'm like, we have to take it, first of all. But I don't know what to do with him. Like, at this point, I don't really know what to do with my units. However, there is a unit upgrade coming up, and if we go to the unit upgrade, maybe we can upgrade our units with multi-strike, and then we have a better idea of what's going on. Now, we could go for Architect now, but I feel like we should just keep stacking up some Gluttony. We do have a perfect Gluttony unit, though, so maybe... Nah, this is fine. We're okay. Because I was about to say, well, if we have a Morsel Maid, we want them to take all of the food, but that's not entirely accurate. So, Spell Shield 2. We do have Echo Breaks that are going to be kind of unusable, but, well, you know what? Dude, I really want the gold for the upcoming... Yeah, I'm going to do it. I really want the gold for the upcoming... shop, basically. So we're gonna see if we can make this work. Apply infused to cards in hand. Sure. We also have no morsels, which is fantastic. So let's put you out. Let's put you out. We'll see what happens. Honestly, if our Overgorger dies, I'm not really that disappointed, because with the Morsel Maid being probably a better Overgorger, at least for scaling purposes, I think we're probably okay. Although, Morsel Maid infused inside of an Overgorger is also great. It's a super strange run. We have 3 great units, and I don't want to use either of them because they're all good. So I'm very confused. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Okay, start here. We can get gold at least. I think we're not gonna play Morsel Maid. I think we're just gonna maybe even just buff our champion. Which is like a very horrible idea. But our Overgorger, we got him really late. He might not even be worth playing necessarily. Okay, I can kill you with a good Shroud Spike. I could also let you feast a whole bunch. Let's start here and here. Because I could give you just an absolutely absurd amount of lifesteal. You will kill the clipped reflector, and then another morsel behind will be able to kill the marksman moving up, and then we can repeat the process. I think we gotta save our pyre, and that's how we would do it. Yeah, it would be 6 feeds, plus 54 damage, plus another 18, so plus 72 damage. 72 and 56 is 128, so you will gain 10 armor, you'll have 110. So that will kill you. And will kill the Quill Marksman. As much as I do want to buff our Gorger, I think that's the most important thing. And actually we can do this. We can put down a morsel and then feed on it. So then we can actually give you like some health, some damage, and then you'll tank one shot. So we can at least try to keep him alive and gorge him. He's not important, but I'm sorry, but he's not. But that's okay. Spells don't matter here, so let's just keep playing. Plus 6 damage. That kind of has to go down so that we can actually kill the marksman in the back. You are a bit of a problem because you're gonna make it up to the pyre since I don't have something in front that can actually do damage to you. We might be able to resolve that, but it's gonna be tough. No, I do not think we're gonna be able to resolve that. But you know what? We're doing damage. We could try to purge the spell shield. I think we're about to get hit on our pyre for 4 times 6 damage. Because it can't really do anything there. And you know what? If that's the way it's gotta be, that's the way it's gotta be. That's the way it's gotta be, bop. Although, 666. Echo Infusion. Nah, we can't punch through and wipe him. If I do 15 damage to the Guardian, he'll only hit us for 18 damage. So that's... Yeah, we can do that if we get another morsel that has plus 6 attack on it. We're gonna play everything anyways. 3, 4, 5, 6, 79. We did get one. So you play him. Oh, you're healing anyways. Okay, so that's not gonna work. Well, fair. That is what it is. We're gonna make it through this combat just fine. I do wish that we were maybe a little bit better off. So you're doing 5, 9, and 9. There's no morsel that has 6 HP. Well, that's unfortunate, but you'll block a shot. You'll block a shot. Now you're feasting. I would like you to have lifesteal. You can have whatever's left over. That's not even Spell Shield's fault. That's us not having good spells to begin with. Let's be honest. All right, well, we know what we want. We want 2 morsels that do damage. It doesn't matter who they are. That's good enough, because now we're getting all the kills. You need to feast. Deal damage to the front enemy unit doesn't really matter at all, but you might as well play it. Try to work you guys down. You won't do any damage, but you don't do anything anyways. I'm just gonna play you to die. Our champion will be able to kill the boss, that's no problem. If we can keep our guy alive and let him gorge, that would be nice, but I don't think we're gonna be able to. Although an Echo Infusion might work. Hold up, hold up. Oh! Keeper of Echoes will take 2 shots. Damage shield will take a shot and will gorge. So Keeper of Echoes will be enough. A morsel with Echo Infusion would also be enough, and that way we'll have 2 capacity for gorging. So I'm gonna do it like this. Just to see what we can get out of it, and then end turn. Any gorging is better than no gorging, but I think we're probably gonna get rid of the overgorger because we have other better options, it feels like. So this is no problem here. Everything's dying, which is good because I do not have the capability of killing you with morsels, but at least you are dead. We have 8 lifesteal that we've been saving up for this moment. We took 24 damage. Grovel, Prism Retrieval, Cannibalize. I don't think we need another Cannibalize. Damage shield is pretty nice just to keep a unit alive for 1 hit. Melee weakness. I mean, melee weakness with a high damage unit is freaking awesome. But I also love Soul Crushing Guilt as a way of getting tanks out of the way so that we can actually do damage. But melee weakness 3, I mean, if you hit a unit for 100 damage, all of a sudden they're taking 400 damage. Play this on the boss and you can just wipe the boss. Play this on like a boss unit, like on the divinity fight when you have the mini bosses moving up. Play it on one of them. I'll take the melee weakness. We're always doing damage. More damage is always useful. So we are going to check the pyre. Check for spells. -2 energy. I mean, on a Grovel, that's nice. On a Shroud Spike, that's awesome. Multi-strike. It's absolutely perfect. A multi-strike morsel made is absurd, and if we put Shadow Siege on top of him, then he comes out as a 50 with 60 HP, and then every time you play a morsel, he gorges. It's absurd. It's exactly what we want. Now, Overgorger, also good, but he's also bigger. So I'm gonna go for the morsel made. We're gonna meld. 25 HP. I think we're gonna meld and then probably just, I don't know, because you take up your own freaking floor. So we're probably not gonna do much else. We still have to have a better way of killing units and also scaling better, which we don't currently have. Let me look at this real quick. Because like a morsel made with multi-strike is really nice, but how are we gonna kill all the weak units in the back? We don't have a sweep anything yet. We could put the Overgorger in the morsel made. That way they gain attack permanently. And we can fit more than one on a floor in the late game when they actually start scaling way better. Because the capacity is gonna be the big problem here with +2 capacity from the Shadow Siege. But yeah, they'll come out as a 65 times 2, 70 HP. How are they gonna survive though? Well, I guess they survive with damage shield and lifesteal. It's a tough call. The Overgorger is nice because of the fact that it has permanent benefits, but the Shadow Siege short circuits that, gives it also a lot more health for survivability's sake, and then, I don't know, get another multi-strike. If we can get this thing with 3 multi-strike, it's killing everything. I think we want Shadow Siege, so I'm gonna re-roll. We don't want Large Stone. Large Stone's too much. Although if we do this, then we might not need Shadow Siege, because Shadow Siege gives it plus 50 HP. Large Stone is plus 40, plus 1 capacity as opposed to plus 2 capacity. Then we can put the Overgorger inside of it, then we can start gorging permanent damage bonuses, and if we gorge 60 times, which we probably will, then that's equal to the Shadow Siege, but it has lower capacity. But we also don't have multi-strike. We just have Morsel Maids. But eventually, you know, we can put 2 on the same floor at some point. We can replicate this guy multiple times. I think it's good enough. We don't really have a tank, but we can put morsels on him. We can feed immediately. So you know what? We're gonna do it. We don't need anything else because we figured out how we want to build this. Instead, we're gonna start purging some cards. We'll purge a Train Steward. And then we are going to meld the Overgorger. You're gonna go inside of the Morsel Maid. So every time he gorges, he gains 1 attack permanently, and then eventually when we hit Last Divinity, hopefully he comes out as like a, you know, 100 times 2 damage unit. Spells being cheaper, Shroud Spike is lovely. We don't well, we're not going to be able to play this on our floor with the Morsel Maid. However, we can still play this on our champion to just buff the crap out of him, give him 100 lifesteal. And we can even make this thing not consume eventually. I actually like this as an upgrade here. So we do have 40 pack shards all of a sudden. It's gonna happen. Oh, and this is perfect. This is the other option here, which was we could make the Morsel Maid have 50 times 2 coming out, but making him small means that we can play multiple on the same floor. I hate this option. I really do, because I feel like whenever I get this and I can make small units, it hard carries me. So a part of me actually does kind of hate seeing that on all of these runs, which are hopefully winning runs. This one's not done yet, but we'll see. But I do feel like I am getting just hard carried every single time I get that. Which I guess is good. I don't know. Okay. Melee weakness. We want to be able to hit you with the melee weakness. So we are going to play a Shadow Infusion here. We should actually also play this. Doesn't matter where we play it. Morsel's got to go out. Penumbra's got to go out. Then we can hit one of you, which at least does limit the damage that we take. We didn't get the right morsel. And then we don't have the ability to play this because we don't have enough total extractions available. Charged echoes. A little unfortunate. Apply infuse to cards in hand. That's pretty good though. It's good enough, rather. So we'll start here. We don't really need more capacity. Put it up here. You're getting away currently. I can stop that. Oh, and that doesn't even work, huh? Could be better, could be better. You have to go out. You're doing 40 damage, but it's not enough. I could put you up here at the front and then hopefully gorge the crap out of you. I actually think we do that. It's gonna really eat into our champion, as in they're not gonna gorge at all. But if we do this, not only do we get some kills here, in fact, we can kill everything here, including the collector. But if we get some morsels, we can just have him feed, hopefully get strong enough to kill the unit in the front. And we have an absolute F-ton of morsels, which is exactly what we want anyway. So we don't need capacity up here. We have no more units except for a Train Steward. I guess we could put the Train Steward up here, so sure. But now, this is just the gorge show. And this is when we go to super ultra game speed as well. And the idea is that eventually, if we get enough damage... Oh, I don't have the energy for the grovel! Well, you're only hitting the pyre once, but I just did not save energy for the grovel at all. My bad. This is going to be just like unplayable because of the order that we got him in, but that's fine. We will just probably put down a train steward and then just cannibalize it immediately. So again, you know, we took a little bit of damage, which is unfortunate. It happens. But in theory, the Morsel Maid can just carry us for the rest of the run because we'll just duplicate it a few times when it starts gorging. How'd I get energy off of that one? Oh, because you gorged it. We should keep that in mind. So, try not to take so much bloody damage. We actually do need to play you down here so we can cannibalize you. You're all dying. You're all dying. I'm disappointed that I took the hit, but that's fine. You're dying. We don't need more energy, so we can sack this one. And we'll see how strong this guy is before we finish off the fight, obviously, but he's probably gonna be like he's gonna come out as a 60 or something at this rate. Honestly, I hate to do it to our champion, but it is worth it. That actually did work. Which is probably a bad thing, because now it means that we can't gorge again. Although, that's dumb, because we totally can gorge again, we just have to play our cards. Keep forgetting that that's actually how that works. I gave you a damage shield. I actually thought it was this card. Well, we're not gonna be able to cannibalize, but don't get that card wrong. At least you are dying. 720 damage on the first hit. I mean, I guess that's what we want to see, right? So Gem Trove, Grovel, or Void Binding. I gotta admit, just more morsels is the only thing that we want. So we'll take the Grovel. I do like Soul Crushing Guilt, but we have damage kind of sorted now, so I actually don't think we need it. The reason why I would want it is to push tanks backwards. We don't have to push tanks backwards. We have tanks, we have damage. And we have Morsel Maids that are 48 times 2. We should duplicate him later though, after he's gorged more. We'll probably go for spell upgrades and card removal here. You know, we wanna duplicate here and here and then maybe get 3 of them out. That would be a little bit better. But he is coming out as a 48 times 2. Yeah, because what else would we duplicate? Nothing. And we have to remove cards anyways. We got a lot of junk. Like Train Stewards. Keeper of Echoes we do not need. We don't do Reap, so the magic power is good enough. Remove Consume. Might be worth it on that spike, but we'll see. Plus magic power. 215 damage. If an enemy has Spell Shield though, I don't see it. So if we duplicate here and... I hate to duplicate here because it'll take us time, but we'll have access to Divine Temples. We can gain more Pact Shards if we have to. Yeah, we can, because we're gonna Hellvent next, and then we can take more Pact Shards here. We got plenty of time. Plenty of time. Remove Consume. X plus 1. So why? The reason why I like Shroud Spike is that we can still buff a champion many times. Or if we play a Morsel, then the Morsel Maid, we can buff them multiple times. There are still ways to make this work, but admittedly, I don't think it's particularly important. What I will do is make these more likely to get some kills. I mean, honestly, I think that there's nothing wrong with making a Shroud Spike good once on our champion. Or even many times on our champion. I mean, it's free morsel feedings if we want. Immediately. Heck, our champion, well, our champion could be in the front, but if we put the morsel maids behind him, we can never feed the champion because the morsel maids are just gonna eat the morsels anyways. So, Shroud Spike, it has to be played on a unique floor with our champion on it in order for it to be valuable at all. Gain double stack. And cost 1 more. Melee weakness 6 is really good. I mean, that will like just one-shot enemies now. That's pretty good. We'll make you consume. I don't think we need to purge a card, even though it's a little dangerous to leave everything in here. Plus 30 magic power. I don't think we need 30 magic power on one of these. I think we're okay to go. And it's gonna be Fell. Spell shield and armor. I'm gonna put my units up on a few floors and then everything should be fine. So Penumbra, I'm gonna put Penumbra here. They're not as important as the Morsel Maid, who does need a lot of damage. So we're gonna put Ember Drain down, then Morsel Maid. He should gorge at the end of the floor. Yeah, he'll still gorge at the end of the floor, or end of the turn. Echo Break still needs to be played. I love that it kills you. You have Lifesteal. You can just take the HP, you can take the damage shield. You gorge twice. Beautiful. Can't play that, that's fine. Melee weakness, it would be good on Fell, but we can wait on that. Might as well. Might as Fell. Apply damage shield 1. You still have lifesteal, so we'll do this here. Packed morsels. Cannibalize. We can cannibalize 6 HP. Goodbye. We can cannibalize damage shield. We do want the champion to have lifesteal. And then we want you to just eat everything else. You gotta get strong enough that you can kill these units that are making it up. And then hopefully when we get that Shroud Spike, we can just Shroud Spike our champion and make him a 200 HP, 200 damage unit. We gotta wait until we draw the freaking card, of course, but... Why do you have Spell Shield? You don't give Spell Shield, do you? You gave armor. Why do you have Spell Shield? You're not being buffed by the pack shards, you have 2 HP. Why do you have Spell Shield? I don't understand, and I don't like it. But, we do need to buff the crap out of the Morsel Maid if we're gonna have to deal with that guy, so. Space Prism, literally does not matter where it goes. That also doesn't matter, but we should have played it. You have armor, but you're a lot easier to kill. I guess we're gonna do this up here. Every time, man, every time. Okay, we're gonna do this down here. Give me a cannibalize. We don't have the energy for this, except if we got an energy morsel, but an energy morsel is a common morsel. So you don't often get those when you would want to get them, unfortunately. So we'll just buff you. You gotta kill this guy next turn, and then we have to have a spell to kill him as well. Finish him off, rather. Okay. There's a Shroud Spike. We have no ways of generating morsels. Fantastic. That being said, I can still kill you. I can still... I can still, like, essentially kill you. You're not quite dead, but you're almost dead. The one turn we don't draw morsels, we draw what we need. You're making it up at this point. I can't put a damage morsel behind you. So you're gonna hit the pyre for 4 damage. You know, If it's gotta be done, it's gotta be done. I hate it, but it's gotta be done. You have lifesteal, give you another one of those. Give you more damage. You can gorge. You can gorge. So there is like a negative to having a morsel made. The fact that it doesn't allow you to use the morsels for damage means that sometimes this happens. Now there wasn't a relic we could have taken earlier that actually does damage to the rear enemy unit when a morsel gets eaten. I figure though on Last Divinity that's basically worthless, so I didn't take it. This is basically how that ends up working. I just didn't want it. Apply damage shield 1, add 2 uncommon or rare morsels. We gotta make this a lot cheaper. That's a good morsel. Unfortunately, you know what, we can get more energy by doing that. We should have started with the Shade Splitters maybe, because now we can get all of them. It's awesome. There's another one. You're gonna make it up, you're gonna take a hit. So you're gonna do 2 damage to the pyre. I hate taking the pyre damage, but there's not a whole lot we can do about it, except there kind of is, because if I put some morsels down in here, we can do enough damage to kill you when you move up, as long as you don't have armor. So you know what? Have another one. We don't have to give every morsel to the morsel maid. I'm glad I gave you a little bit more sauce on that one. And again, cannot play Cannibalize. You know what? I can kill both of you, luckily. Man, I would really love to Shroud Spike right now, but unfortunately we can't. So, goodbye. I mean, what can I say? We just drew the card incorrectly twice in a row. Okay, you're gonna get melee weakness 6. We're gonna hit you for like 600 damage on this floor, so that's awesome. In fact, we might even kill you on this floor, which may or may not be awesome. Damage shield. I mean, you don't really do that amazingly with damage shield. You're not a slouch, but I figure you don't really need it, do you? We'll give you 1 life steal, and then we'll give you some damage shield. All right, you're taking 1200 damage because you're taking a hit for 7x once. That's a pretty good amount of damage. And then we'll just play this for damage. We'll play this for gorging. And you are clearly dead. Okay. So, I mean, the Morsel Maid's getting it done. We have literally 1 unit. Perfect Insanity is such a good card. Energy, draw, or capacity. Capacity is not a problem. We made the Morsel Maid small. Draw could get us to better cards like Morsel Generators, which is nice. Energy means that we could play, you know, 2 of these on a turn if we draw both of them. So I actually do think you want energy, because we're gonna duplicate that Morsel Maid. We might not do it now. We probably will do it now, because even if they don't ever gorge, they're still coming out as like a 71 times 2 unit, you know? They're still doing a lot of damage. And we gotta purge units too, because we're not using Shadow Siege. We took him, didn't need him. So yeah, we're gonna go to the right path here. We summon the 2nd unit, gain energy. This solves all of our energy problems. Now I wish we took draw. In fact, I'm thinking it might literally be possible to summon Shadow Siege, but what's the point? We'd rather have other cards anyways. So let's get rid of another Echo Break. Spell Chained. Cannibalize spell chain is something. Force contamination spell chain is something. Shroud spike spell chain is something. Oh, dude, especially if we can gain energy and then spell chain into another shroud spike. You've got to let me try it. It's just an amazing combination if you can make it work. So we'll dupe one of those. We do need to take another pack shard here, but we're planning on it anyways. And I'm just gonna go, honestly, straight into the gluttonous. Although, trample. Now you got me thinking, if we can give him like infinite damage, he can clear entire waves on his own. I'm gonna give him trample. I'm gonna give him 1 level of trample. Restore all health when enemy units move up a floor. This is extraordinarily dangerous. So I'm not gonna turn it on. This is the only thing that can ruin the entire run for us. Enemy units that have 400 HP and then touch our pyre once and then we die. So why don't we not do that, shall we? Wow, you also, I can't kill you with a spell. We have no sweep, by the way. We cannot deal with sweepers. I think I'm gonna play Penumbra here and then wait for a Space Prism to get more morsel capabilities. So I think we'll have a morsel made on the top floor. We're gonna start here. 1 plus 23. 2 plus 23. I'm not gonna play 5 more infusion cards, unfortunately, so sorry. Got 4 energy. You're gonna live next turn, so there's no reason to give you a damage shield. I am gonna put you here. I know, there's no capacity. I know. I understand. There you go. You're dead, obviously. We're gonna gain energy, so you might as well play this. You might as well play this. You do need the lifesteal. And then you gotta play a morsel, and then you gotta come out. But I do want, I want both of these units to get more buff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to buff one of them. And then when I play the other one, I think the one in the front gains the buffs now. Yeah. So we want them both to gorge until they get to about 100 times 2 each. That would be perfect. Now, you're not really doing much. I know, I know. This is the experiment, basically. You still have 2 lifesteal. I do want you to get a little bit stronger, but it doesn't really matter right now. Oh my god, can this kill him? Nope. Gets him down to 4 HP. We have absolute poor backline killing, and these self-mutilations are just piling up at this point. But luckily we are still able to kill everything as it moves up. Deal 65 damage to the front enemy unit. Pretty much pointless. Doing 103 and 126. 65 damage doesn't matter that much. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might matter here. We're scaling slowly. Okay. We only have 1 morsel. The Shroud Spike will never work properly. However, even if it doesn't necessarily, we can possibly still get massive gorging done. We're gonna turn to a 110 unit. Honestly, I got another one in the bag. Really helps to make sure that nothing gets through, at least. We gotta cannibalize, and nothing to do with it. Melee weakness 6. If everything's dying, I don't see the reason to play it. I can kill you! Oh my god, we actually have the ability to, like, play units next turn. Possibly. We have one Shade Splitter. Well, you know what? I can at least hit you really hard once. Infused. Actually, I can also lower your HP by 666. Why doesn't it work? Oh, because I don't get the charged echo until after I play the card. All right, that makes sense. It's a good perfect insanity if it would work, though. Anyways, you're taking 1600 damage, so I can't really complain too much. We will just buff the crap out of you guys still. We got sapped a little bit when those units made it up too. We should have maybe considered starting on the middle and the bottom floor. Would have bought us a little bit more time. Or rather, it wouldn't have bought us time, but we would have saved our draw a little bit. Who would have thought that the draw would be such a problem here, though? Do wish that I could get something out of this. You know, I can get something out of the cannibalize. I can kill you and then just let you gorge a few more times. Sorry to do it, but like, it's gotta be done. Luckily that wasn't perfect insanity. Took no damage. Return to eaten units to your hand. Wretch is good. If you get it holdover and you get it early enough and you have like 10 morsels in your draw pile, then you can basically just play them all continuously. I'm gonna take it for the morsel generation, but we don't have to play it. I'll also take Total Recall. The cards that, well, the cards that consume are like packed morsels. Everything else sucks. So you know what? I'm gonna skip these ones. Okay, is this run gonna work? I have no idea. Are we gonna Hellvent? Yes. Sorry spells, but you're not getting upgraded anymore. And sorry units, but man, I really wish we had room for multi-strike, but we got enough upgrades early. I'm relatively happy. Gorge abilities trigger an additional time. Units enter with lifesteal 2. Gorge an additional time is great. We do have another spell chain. I mean, spell chain forced contamination is pretty good. You just basically ensure that something dies. Although a spell chain wretch is awesome. Infinite morsel generation, right? So sure, that gets us up to 85. We could also put a card in hand, something like Cannibalize would be nice. To get more morsels would be okay. You've already been upgraded fully, damn it. Give me the Cannibalize. I mean, we've got a couple of cards that, like, as long as we draw these cards, we're kind of set. So why not go for those cards? So I'll dupe the 89 times 2, still worth having. We'll take Gorge abilities triggering an additional time, and then we'll purge a couple more cards, like, I don't know, Echo Break, which is pretty bad, and then we have no more money for anything else. 110 pack shards. I mean, I think we'll be fine due to our quality of minions, but it's gonna suck. It always sucks fighting the divinity. At least this is very good draw. We should also play our morsel maids here, because there's capacity for them. We'll play the champion here, where there's capacity for a morsel there. I don't see a reason to do it in another order. Yeah, we gotcha. So we got more. You're coming out. The enemy units don't deal that much damage, but still, having any damage shield on you guys is actually kind of nice. So I'll give you a damage shield. I want to make sure that you can get at least one per turn, basically, until we get our Shroud Spike, and hopefully the Shroud Spike will actually freaking work. Okay, our champion's dying. We can deal with that though, we can. If we Echo Break, he'll take 60 damage and we just have to put one morsel in front. So we can easily keep him alive. Apply Infuse to cards in hand. I hate that you're taking 85, but we just need to get one lifesteal on you and you're set. These are the units that are a problem. They just do 45 damage per guy, and I don't have a way of really stopping them. The Echo Breaks don't do enough damage. We don't hit that 25 damage mark, unfortunately. But you gotta go. You'll be fine. You're coming out. And honestly, if one fails, we have backups. So I'm not that worried necessarily. I would like the energy, but we're gonna cannibalize anyways. So, no. You come out here. Gave us energy back. Very good. Cannibalize. Damage shield +6/+6. Well, you're just gonna take a hit, so you can take a hit from here. Now we're doing 64 damage, beautiful. And you are just gonna take damage shield and HP, and then more damage. We're only taking 30 because of the damage shields. Okay, we're losing a unit, obviously, we gotta deal with that. Echo Break can get a kill on the worst enemy. Now we're taking 30, 45, which is 60 damage and then another 30 on top of it. So we need to get up to 90 HP or block one shot. We can do that. A spell will also kill a unit and then knock 30 damage off, so we'll only take 60. So Proclamation keeps us alive as is, but we can probably do better. We don't need energy, so that's a good candidate for cannibalizing. Damage shield also keeps us alive. I would love to have one lifesteal morsel, which we don't have, but that's okay. We can still give you a ton of HP. And honestly, if we give you enough HP, maybe we don't even want to play the spell to incant on him. He has rage. Why does he have rage? Do you just get rage? I don't know. I don't know why you have rage on you. Some enemies are entering with rage. So, plus 10 health. Now you're living. Now you've got damage shields. You still have a turn of lifesteal. You do need a morsel. Why don't you just take the energy one? You can keep getting stronger. I guess now that I think about it, I cannot put a morsel in the front to tank a shot, so we just have to do that. And then do we want to save damage shields? Probably. With 3 damage, actually with 3 damage shields, we're not losing melee weakness. How are we losing melee weakness if we're taking 29 damage? If you're hitting for 29, why am I not taking 58? I gotta play this slow. Does damage shield negate the melee weakness? Like if you hit me for 15, it gets doubled and then zeroed? Is that what's going on there? If so, that's awesome. Let's see what happens. I have it on super slow motion. Yeah. Okay. So damage shield is actually the best thing to counter that melee weakness. Who knew? Retch. We have 15 morsels. This might not be the best time to retch. I think they go into the draw pile as well when that happens, but it is 15 morsels, and I gotta admit, There's a lot of damage shield morsels in here. It might be worth it. For now, you're gonna get hit with forced decontamination. I'm gonna give you the space prism. We're gonna give you some lifesteal. Although, we do need you to have lifesteal. So why don't we do this with Cannibalize first? If I play Wretch, we might literally play no cards next turn, but we'll have morsels. Tough call. Why don't you take 1 lifesteal? Now you're healing for 59. You don't need any more damage shields down here. We'll give a damage shield to our champion. We'll give this to our champion, give this to you, and then let's see what happens with the Wretch. We have 10 cards in the draw pile. Now we have 17 in the draw pile. Okay, so that's the danger there. However, I still like this. You wanna know why? Because we can still, oh, we can't even play Wretch. It went to our discard pile. All right, this might be overblown a little bit on the morsels, huh? I still like it. This is like a carbon copy of a run I did, like when the DLC first came out, of just completely obliterating the game with the damage shields. You have melee weakness too. But again, I'm kind of confused, because if damage shield negates melee weakness, we're getting hit for 45, which is gonna turn into 0, but we're actually dying, and I don't know why we're dying up here. I don't understand the interactions between this. Because when we got hit previously, we took no damage, and we lost melee weakness. Is that not happening here? Even if we get hit for 30, and then we get hit for another 56, we'd still be alive. So why, I guess we're getting, for some reason, now we're getting hit for 15, which purges the damage shield, but not melee weakness, and then we get hit for 28 times 3. I don't know. It makes no sense to me, but I think that's what's going on. It just seems convoluted that the mechanics don't seem to make a lot of sense, you know? Like, why am I not living here? It makes no sense, but we will still gorge. That's not how you do that. We gotta put you in front then. Now we're living. I don't know what's happening to the damage shield. Maybe we'll figure that out soon. I mean, really, I should just go back down to low speed and just see what happens. So he purged the damage shield, but not the melee weakness. Again, I have no idea. It's operating differently on different floors. It's gotta be a bug, right? Oh my god, we can finally Shroud Spike. This is fine. Play you. Cannibalize. Okay, I mean, look. You just gotta put a Morsel Miner down and then Shroud Spike it 14 times, okay? It's gonna happen. Sorry, 20 times. You'll turn into a 620-355. That seems a little overblown, but at least you won't die. And it only costs us 1 morsel. You know what? There you go. You okay? I'd rather return to my crucible. Well, you're actually gonna gorge a whole bunch. Sweet. And we'll keep the other one in the deck, I guess. We'll draw it soon. I hope. Okay, now we're taking no damage. I guess because we're healing. That actually does make sense. It doesn't always have to make sense. That, okay, makes a little bit of sense. I guess we'll, not perfect insanity. I guess instead we'll just put a bunch of morsels down. and then just gorge. Yeah, because so if I remember correctly, on this floor, damage shield countered 1 level of melee weakness. What happens now? It counters no melee weakness, then we get hit for 112. Yeah, there might be a bug with damage shield 1, melee weakness 1. If they're equal, they cancel out a little bit. I don't know. Again, I'm just gonna say it. I have no freaking idea. Maybe I'm a big dummy and don't understand how this game works. That's entirely possible. It's entirely possible that Abe is a big dummy who doesn't understand anything. You know what? You might be right. Maybe I don't understand anything. I can kill that guy though, save a whole bunch of damage shields. I mean, the boss is gonna die in 2 shots. If I draw melee weakness, he'll die in 1 shot. That's not a consume card, is it? Nope, it's just, we didn't draw it. Fair enough. I mean, I could also insanity you, but, you know, why? I guess we could insanity you to, like, be able to retch more, I suppose. We definitely should still try to gorge as much as possible, because we still have 1 combat left, and these are permanent bonuses. So you know what? Play this. Can't play that. Retch. Okay. Got a lot of morsels coming up. Don't worry about it. Why am I losing 2 HP? Oh, because of the lifesteal. No wonder. Okay, we're done. I need an unceasing top. Okay, so next fight, we're basically gonna do exactly the same thing and hope that we can get an energy morsel with that shroud spike, because if we do, we can probably gorge our champion about 800 times. If we get a very lucky turn 1, we can put him on the bottom floor, which is kind of funny. We didn't, but that's fine. We at least, I mean, we're guaranteed to draw the cards that we like, which are these ones, so. Morsel Maid's gonna go down. Penumbra actually cannot really go on the top floor because of the sweep. The morsels will die, with the exception of a shroud spike could enable us to still gorge you. It will just be hard to set up. But you do 6 damage. That seems high. Does your damage scale with pack shards? You'd think that at some point I would actually, you know, understand this game a little bit here. Okay. We don't need energy morsel. I'm gonna play you up here just to purge the Ember Drain. And then we'll cannibalize you. And then you're gonna be our tank. These guys could also go on the top floor, but we didn't take capacity, and our champions were all big, so whatever, this is fine. If we get the card that we want, which is actually in our hand, then this is beautiful and perfect, and we can do everything that we would ever want. We didn't gorge the energy morsel. I can't do it. We can still have a great turn, but I didn't gorge the energy morsel, so Shroud Spike can't give us infinite energy. We can still gorge the crap out of our champion. That's unfortunate, but... So, you know what? I should have gorged just to have him in the pile. That's fine. Retch. 6 coming back. You know what? Why don't we play, play this? Damage Shield's gonna crush us here, but that's fine. Nothing we can do about it. Gained us some energy. Now we can... We actually still can't retch, but we'll get energy back by playing a Morsel Maid. So play a Morsel Maid, then retch. It'll stay in your hand. You can retch again. And we're gonna retch. We're gonna retch again. Play the other Morsel Maid. Shroud Spike, you know, as I'm looking at it, it doesn't seem like it's gonna get any better. Although we are gonna get 3 energy in a second. Uncommon or rare morsels. Yeah, the common ones give you energy back, but sometimes it's exactly what you want. Okay, we'll play another morsel maid. Get out there. Doesn't really matter where you go, but I'll just put you in the front. Then. I want you to have as much lifesteal as possible, so lifesteal. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cannibalize. Lifesteal. Then morsel. 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 Wretch. Morsel. 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 Put a morsel out there. One more morsel. Another morsel. And then gorge 12 times. We've got another one of those in the deck now that we can maybe play later, and you've got trample. So anything making it up should hopefully be deceased. It's gonna take a while to shuffle back to that card, but hey, you know what? You're a good unit. You're up there, you're doing your job. We don't really need a space prism because you have sweep up there. We can't really keep anything alive. Don't really want to incant on you, but you are dying in a single hit. No, you're dying in 2 hits. I guess it doesn't really matter where we play this in that case. You have spell shield. You don't, but we're also sweeping you anyways. You know what? This is okay. Can't play it there. You know what? Yes, we can. I don't believe you. Should have played this first. But you have spell shield, so wouldn't have mattered. Well, you know what, if it doesn't matter, we can do more damage that way. Then, might as well purge the Ember Drain for literally no reason. And then, there you go. Yeah, we should have taken draw instead of energy on our second boss fight, but we immediately got energy after that with the Hell's Banners, so we didn't know what we were getting. Okay, you're taking 1,000 damage because of the melee weakness. It's pretty good. You probably not gonna make it up. That's pretty good. Deal a bunch of damage. 200, 200. 131. 131. 198 will kill you, 198 will hit you. There's nothing else that we can do about that, so might as well just play it. You might as well play it on a floor that doesn't have full capacity for charged echoes. Starting to realize that Morsel's having damage shield, very nice against this fight. It means you can actually play on the top floor. And also Shroud Spike, good too. I don't know why people are complaining about, Gorge on the champion on the top floor. All you need is one card that bypasses the need for the morsel to live for a turn. Hey, if you get that, you're all set. We don't need more energy on this turn. We're gonna get energy back when we play 2 cards, so let's just play that to get more energy. Play this and cannibalize to get more energy. Still have to deal with like the most annoying part about this whole thing, which is you have to wait for your cards to like finish gorging before you can play more cards, but other than that. I mean, we got it. We got it. All we gotta do is just finish cannibalizing everything. Lifesteal, that's a good morsel to have. Look at this freaking floor. And they're gonna make it up, but I'm gonna sweep kill him. Well, it's not sweep kill, I'm gonna trample kill him, but still. So you can have lifesteal. You don't need 2 because you'll waste the other one. So we'll just actually cannibalize it, see what we get instead. Weird situation, but yeah, in that situation, lifesteal is not that important. 1 stack is fine. More than that, you have multi-strike. You're gonna waste it. You're gonna waste it! Extract for minus 666. I mean, we can do it. And then get energy back. Might be able to kill you with a spell eventually, but we'll just do that instead. You know what? Give me some energy. Completely unnecessarily, but you might as well. Everything's dying on this floor. Barely, but everything is dying. We have Ember Drain? What? What the heck? Oh, good. Right at the same moment I needed Shroud Spike. What the heck? Well, that'll give me energy back. I'm like, is there an order to what I get back? Because I really want the rubble morsel, please. Didn't get it. You know what? That's fine. The boss is dead anyways. I just want to see how much I can actually stack up my champion here. 500 damage, 200 HP, 19 stacks of lifesteal, trample. That's what you want. We also have 38 cards in our draw pile. That's like all morsels. We've completely ruined our draw pile, but it doesn't matter, does it? All right, end turn. It was a good run. I enjoyed it. Feel like I got carried a little bit, but that's kind of the power creep of the last Divinity DLC, right? You've got to get strong. You've got to break the game wide open. The easier, the better. We got carried by just 1 unit, Morsel Maid. Seems like if you get that unit, wow, it's a lot of Divinity cards that are good. It is a surprising thing. You know, it's weird, but it feels like if you get that unit, you're just gonna win because you can plan out how you construct them and then start building them early. But hey, it was a fun run nonetheless. And for those of you on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Like the video if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe for more. Check me out on Twitch for when I go live. Support me at any of the links below in the video description, and I hope to see you here again for the next run of Monster Train.